Hi folks, this is Sarim for Webinar. I hope you're all staying at home and uh, enjoying being at home. Today, what I thought was, what do I mean by an advanced treatment? I just want to throw some light on that. A lot of people are keeping on saying this is advanced and this is advanced. This is the newer technique and things like that. So I just want to throw light on that. So I'm going to show a video of sort of what we call as a Lokmat robot, right? This is what a lot of people think that or call it as advanced in neuro. Uh, and if you are poorly educated and if you have very little understanding of the human biology, you may think that facial manipulation is advanced, right? So, how do I come to that conclusion that uh, this is advanced, this is not advanced, and things like that? This I want to read, this I don't want to read. This might have some value and these things. How do I make this decision? So this is basically how I make the decision. So I'm going to sort of throw light on how I'm doing this. Right. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what are the structures and organs you think can be changed? That is the first thing you want to ask yourself and come to a conclusion, right? What are the organs can be changed? The next question you want to, organs and structures, right? Say for example, I can change the muscle, I can change the fibers, strength, I mean the size of the fibers, recruitment, I can change the stiffness of the muscle, whatever you think you can think of. Say for example, we would have, the other thing you want to remember or think of is how long that this change will be there, right? Whether it is semi-permanent, permanent. If it is semi-permanent, what is the half-life period? Say for example, we should have learned in cryotherapy that the change in the blood circulation is fleeting, right? It's for quite some time. It's not going to be there for hours together, probably half an hour. Or if the compression is for quite some time, probably 1 hour, not more than that, right? So you want to ask yourself, or you can even pause this video and find out what are the organs which can be changed, which are reversible, which is irreversible, which has a longer half-life period, if you will, right? Then if you have come to that conclusion, what I would suggest is, remember, all other organs, all other structures don't have a property by itself. The muscle can't contract by itself. The blood circulation cannot increase by itself. It has to be controlled by some other structure, and ultimately most of the changes happen because something is happening in your brain, or brain is telling you to do that. Of course, there are also some autonomic changes, but most of the time the autonomic changes are sort of fleeting. Uh, mm, they are not going to be there for longer period of time and things like that. Now, out of all the structures which can be changed, say for example the muscle, right? My fitness level, the my lung capacity, all these things, they just go away just like that, right? You take my own example, right? Look at me now, right? I'm just put on so much of weight, load my all my fitness. Last year, this time I was doing 70 kilometers and 50 kilometers cycling. Now I'm unable to even walk. All my fitness has gone down because I just didn't do for 2 months and then it slowly went down. But my cycling ability did not. My learning of my how to ride the cycling did not go. That's what I mean by long-term changes and sort of semi-permanent changes, right? So one of the structure which seems to have a lot of capacity to change as a human being, as a living organism, is your brain. So I think most of physiotherapy is towards changing the brain, right? The brain as such. So what does it have to do with anything? Because all physiotherapy techniques, if you write all the techniques you can think of, whatever comes to your mind, you can put all the lists from electrotherapy to manual therapy to exercise, plyometrics. and whatever the latest nomenclature they give for exercise, you can write, and you should be able to classify them into two parts, right, or into two systems, right. And the systems or the how I'm classifying is passive and active, right? What I mean by passive is anything you do to your therapist. That is, he's receiving it passively. He is not mostly involved in the treatment, whether it is electrical stimulation or stretching or the fascia manipulation, or you are rubbing the muscle, what they call it as, what do they call it as? Trigger point release. Whatever name they can think of, they will have fascia. Some people think that they can. The fascia is like my flatbreads, that is a chapati and roti dough, and they can just roll it to the pin and it will go flat and it will be like, oh my god, right? So all these things are passive. Now, if you think of it like this, do you think that they are going to be for long lasting, or they're going to be there for long time? Think about it. I'm not going to give you an answer, but just think about it. Will they be like that after you remove the stimulus? Okay, even if I remove the stimulus and if they have gotten flattened or they have lengthened, will they not come back to that original position? Have we not read about homeostasis? Will they? Won't they? What is the half-life period? All these things. Right? But at the same time, there's another group of exercise or another group of treatment which we call it as active. That is your exercise, right? If you're doing an exercise, remember, load of structures are changing from your muscles, blood circulation, heart rate, lung function, all these things. Also, your brain is also changing. You're learning because you're an active participant, right? And the changes might be sort of semi-permanent or even permanent, right? So I think any treatment which is, if you have to claim it as advanced, should be active. Otherwise, it has very, very little value because most of the time passive treatments have either one or two. That will be the maximum VAS change you will get, right? Nothing more, nothing less, whatever treatment you can think of, whatever. Don't worry about whether it is electrotherapy or the latest manual therapy. You spent 10,000 and some white person came and taught you, and you thought, oh my God, I am learning something new, right? You are just conned out of your money. There is no change which is going to be more than one or two. But for active treatments, we are seeing more and more it is better. It is better than surgery in lot of orthopedic conditions. It is better than anything we have ever thought of because it makes a permanent change, and the changes are sort of semi-permanent for a longer time. So, yeah, for active treatment, and that active treatment is what I call it as advanced physiotherapy. Right? And also, some people think that even in exercise there is advance. I hardly think so. Um, there is also the video we saw of uh, the Lokmat robotics, right? Now you'll ask, where will I put active or passive? Probably you should put it at active assisted. So it is not a great treatment. Robot is a 3 crore useless white elephant you have in your clinic if you at all you buy it, right? It's a very, very limited value because anyway you have to go to active treatment. All Bobat is active assisted. Lot of PNF will be active assisted. Sometimes it will also be active also, right? So everything should be within this. There is no facilitation technique. A lot of people think that there is a thing called as facilitation technique. No, it's called as again an active assisted, right? So to conclude, what I'm trying to say is, if you are thinking of advanced technique, right, the first and foremost thing you want to do is think what structure it changes, what is the half-life period of that, and don't be a sort of a moron and give money to some idiot who comes and sells you some stupid thing, right? So that's for today. See you next time.